sa ating number sequence. A here is constant number or the common difference. So, meron tayong A dito. Now, we want to find for the 3 missing term of this particular pattern over here. So, what are we going to do? We have to add A to the next number. So, if we are adding A to B, what will be the number? Okay, it's another A plus B. Next, we want to add another A to this number. Okay, very good. Meron na tayong dalawang A. Next, the last term, we want to add another A. So, we have 3A plus. So, ganun lang kadali. Ano mas madaling gawin? Mag-compute ng number o mag-generate ng letter pattern? Mas madaling letter, no? Kasi sa number, nagko-compute tayo. Calculate pa kayo. Okay. Wala na kayong tanong dito, guys? Wala. Okay, may tanong. Sino may tanong? Yung may tanong muna. Wala na. What about the boys or gentlemen? Sino yun? Gian? Yes, Kyle? Ano yun, Kyle? Bakit ina-add lang natin yung A? Kasi positive yung nakuha nating number, anak. Okay, i-drawing ko ulit. Okay, halimbawa, ang meron taman tayo dito is negative A minus B tapos negative B. Halimbawa, ganyan yung ating number. So, ano yung susunod na pattern? Kasi, addition nga lang yan. Sige, gawa tayo ng subtraction. What if ganito siya? So, halimbawa, ito siya. So, we want to subtract now. No, I'm sorry. Let's make this positive. Okay, let's say that's positive B. Yan. Diba sa number natin, kapag minus natin yung negative tsaka isang positive, ito magiging negative na siya automatic. So, meron na tayong negative 2B and meron na tayong A. Ito ngayon yung i-add natin dito sa constant number na ito. Kapag yung common difference naman is a negative variable, for example, negative A. Kapag halimbawa, ito, negative A ito. Ano na mangyayari dito? Will it still be 2A or 0? Oh, let's make another Burahin ko saglit to. Okay, halimbawa, ang common difference natin, ito yung pattern natin. Okay, for example, our pattern is A, 0, and then, what is the next number? Sabi natin, pag common difference, we have to subtract. So, 0 minus A will give us negative A, right? That's like 1 and 0. 0 minus 1 is negative 1, correct? Yes. So, since ito, kasi letter siya, so magiging negative A naman siya. Okay. So, since negative A yung ating ina-add, ano na ang magiging next pattern natin? So, that will be 0 plus negative A is equal to... Okay, very good. Negative A. Again, next, we have negative A plus negative A. We are adding two negative numbers. Therefore, we have negative 2A. Okay? Nakuha, Kyle? Nasagot ko ba yung tanong mo na? Oh, sige. Let's proceed to our next slide. Burahin ko lang. Let's proceed to our next slide. Okay, next we have here ay geometric pattern. Sabi nyo kanina, pag geometric pattern, meron tayong constant number na multiply, and that constant number serve as the common ratio of this problem. But here, dito, nawawala yung mga numbers sa pagitan ng ating first term and yung ating last term na nandito. Therefore, we have to generate the geometric mean. Correct? Kasi sabi nyo kanina, ang geometric mean are the numbers in between the first term and the last term. So, since we are in geometric sequence, ano muna ang gagamitin nating formula? What is the formula again for geometric? Kindly tell your name. Yes, Danica. Okay, very good. Okay, very good. That's the formula for our geometric mean, which is hindi ko masyadong na-discuss. Yung video ko lang nag-discuss sa inyo. Okay, so let's try to ponder on this one. So for this one, we are looking for the second term, the third term. Yun na to, late. Geometric term na ako. Si Ariel. Good afternoon, Nak. Okay. So, ang hinahanap natin is yung mga missing terms na nandito. Pero, hindi natin siya mahanap kasi wala tayong common ratio. Ang meron lang tayo is yung first term tsaka yung ating last term. So, dapat mahanap muna natin yung value ng ating R. Paano natin gagawin yun? Ano gagawin natin? Are we going to substitute now the values of the first term and second term? Or the last term rather? Okay, yes. So, we have the last term. Our last term is at, pang ilan yung last term natin? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, pang 4 yung ating last term. So, we have a sub 4 is equal to a sub 1 r raised to 4 minus 1. So, generating that, the value of our a sub 4, ang value ng ating a sub 4 ay negative 24. Ang value ng ating first term ay 3. Next, nawawalang value ng r. Ng value ng n is 4 minus 1. So, with that, we have negative 24 is equal to 3 raised. R raised to 4 minus 1 is 3. That is q. Again, ano ang purpose ng radical symbol natin? Kapag ganito lang ang gamit natin, meron tayong imaginary term. Kaya siya square or square root. Kapag ganito naman, ang tawag natin dyan ay cube root. Since 3 or cube yung exponent natin dito, ang gagamitin natin ay cube root para ma-eliminate natin tong value na to. Parang maiwan lang ay si 3r. So, ang gagawin natin, kailangan nating i-extract yung cube root ng both sides. Nakuha? Yan. Since cube root na siya, pwede na nating i-cancel yung number dito sa gilid. So, pwede na nating i-cancel tong radical na to. And, we will be left with, ano yung mouse ko? You will be left with 3r. Kasi natanggal na yung exponent, so 3r na lang yung natira. Ngayon, dito, i-extract natin yung kanyang cube root. So, sa calculator nyo, or if you're familiar with factoring numbers dito sa loob, it's much better. So, sa calculator natin, meron tayong cube root of negative 24, and that is equal to, since hindi to perfect cube, meron tayong negative 2. Okay, very good. Negative 2.88. Pareho tayo? Ha? Okay. Ngayon, kailangan maiwan ni R dito sa gilid, sa kabilang gilid na to. So, anong gagawin natin para maiwan si R? Okay, very good. We have to divide both sides by 3. And if we are going to divide both sides by 3, the value of R now is ilan? Very good. Negative 0.96. Sure, bakit negative? If we are dividing a negative and a positive number, that is still negative. So, meron ng value ng R. Ang value ng R ngayon yung ating multiply sa first term, second term, hanggang fifth term. Okay? So, since that is 0.96, multiply nyo nga yung 3 sa negative 0.96. Anong sagot natin? Okay, very good. We have negative 2.88. What about the next term? 2 8.64. Yes. $70. Negative. Is it 8? Kasi 0 yun. Who wants to correct the answer? Negative. Is it still negative? Yes. Positive. 2 point. Ilan, Sam? 2.76, right? Oh, may kausa pa ba ako? Okay. Positive 2.76 times a negative number ulit. Negative. Ba't ganun? Times 0.96. Is it really 0.9? 2.64. Parang may error tayo sa solution na. May mali ba tayo sa solution? Tama naman. Okay, so that is how you generate now geometric pattern. Now let's have another variable over here. Breaking ko lang. Ayan. Balik tayo dun sa letters naman. Dito tayo sa number 4, 5, and yun, dalawa. Ito, madaming fraction to ha. Makinig mabuti. Okay, for number 4, let's have number 4. For number 4, we have the first term and the second term. So, yung formula natin is A sub n is equal to the first term, r raised to n minus 1. So, we have to find now the value of r. Okay, r is missing to generate now the 3 missing terms. So, paano natin gagawin yun? You have to divide b over a. And since variable na ito, it will stay like that. Meaning, we are multiplying this constant number to this term over here. Let's dissect. Balikan natin. Tama ba kapag minultiply natin si BA sa A is makukuha natin ng B? Try natin balikan. So, we have A times B over A. And we know, in fraction, A here is a whole number. Any whole number has an imaginary 1 as a denominator. And to proceed to multiplication, you just multiply the numbers up and down vertically. Horizontally, should say. So we have A, B here. And we have 1 minus A, that's A. Since pareho naman yung nasa taas tsaka baba, pwede natin siyang cancel and we will leave left with B. Kaya yung second number natin dito is B. Now, since we have the common ratio of B over A, multiply lang natin yun sa ating second term para makuha natin yung ating next term or yung ating third term. Okay, so if we are multiplying B over A now to B, what is the answer? Ano yung second term natin? Let's try to calculate. So we have B times B over A. We have imaginary 1 here, so B times B. If we are multiplying number to itself, we have exponents, right? So that is, so we have B squared, very good. Over 1 times A, we have A. Kailangan ba nating mag-cancel? No, kasi magkaiba silang variable. So, ang second term natin dito is b squared over a. Since meron na tayong b squared over a for the third term, we have to multiply this again to b over. Okay, so we have b cubed. Nasusundan ba nung iba? What about yung sa baba natin? You're multiplying a to itself. So, that is a cube pa rin. Square, kasi dalawang beses lang naman. Okay, so this is our third term. Okay, so meron tayong second term, meron tayong third term. Next naman, last, meron tayong fourth term. So we have b cubed over times b over a. So that is b times b times b times b. So, ilang b na yon? Natin sa sarili niya. Pang ilan na to? Pang 4. So we have b to the 4th power. What about yung a? A cubed. So, ganun lang. Mas madali talaga pag letters. Okay. So, that is for number 4. Erase natin to para mag-review kayo ulit. Next, let's have number 5. Susundan ba? Earthlings. Let's have number 5. Yes, okay. For number 5, we do not have second term, but we were given the last term. So we have the first term, a, and we have to multiply a constant number that is c to the second term. Ilang pattern yan? 3. So, mayroon tayong nawawalang kawing, 3 kawing dito sa ating pattern. So, kapag multiply natin si A sa C, magiging X yan. Okay. That ang gamitin natin. A times C. A times C is equal to what? AC, kasi pagtatabihin lang natin siya. AC pala to eh. So, AC. Now, again, magmumultiply ulit tayo ng next pattern. So, meron tayong AC times C. Ilang C ang minultiply natin sa kanyang sarili? 2 beses tayong 2. So, meron tayong isang exponent dyan, meron tayong isang exponent dito. So, si C ngayon, meron siyang kasamang 2 or square, C square. 2 beses nating minultiply si C sa sarili niya. So, ang second term natin ay AC square. So, ano yung last term natin? Okay, gawin natin AC square times C. Okay, very good. We have A cube. AC cube. So, ganun lang kapag ka-variable ang ating gine-generate. May tanong ba kayo dito, guys? Full storage ka na. Ay, sorry. Stop mo na yung recording. Anyway, meron din naman ako recording dito. Kaso cut lang siya. Pagtatabi-tabi ko na lang mamaya para isahan. Okay, burahin ko Okay lang. Mas mahaba nga yan eh. Yung sa akin, 15. Every 15 nagre-record ako. Ito, bibigay ko ito sa inyo para mag-solve din kayo sa bahay. Next, meron tayong problem dito. Sabi niya dito, give the first 3 terms of the arithmetic sequence whose common difference is -2 and whose fourth term is 9. So, ang hinahanap natin ay 3 terms ng arithmetic sequence. Pero, meron na siyang fourth term which is 9. This is a sub 4. Now, ang common difference daw niya ay -2. So, paano natin hahanapin ngayon yung 3 missing terms? Anong gagawin natin dyan? Ano kaya ang pwede muna nating hanapin? Try natin. Meron na tayong last term which is a sub 4. Ang first term ay nawawala. Ang value ng n ay 4 pa rin kasi fourth term yung meron. Ang common difference ay 9. nawawala. So, let's try to find fourth term is 9. So, hanapin natin yung kanyang fourth term. Or pwede rin kayong mag-working backwards. Since ang common difference ay negative 2, therefore, nag-add siya dito ng negative 2 para maging 9. So, kung magba-backwards tayo, kung nag-add ka ng negative 2 para maging 9, so that is 11, right? Try natin mag-working backwards bago tayo gumamit ng formula. Let's try this. Let's try. So, kung ang fourth term, 4, 3, A4, A3, A2, A1. Okay. So, si 9, dinagdagan siya ng negative 2 para maging 9. So, a number na nadadagdagan ng negative 2 is 11. Tama? Hindi ko naman nilagay yan. Nandiyan lang naman. So, meron tayong 11. Ano naman ang number na nadadagdagan ng negative 2 para maging 11? 13. Eh, paano yung 13? 15. So, that is working backwards. Now, I want you to try this using the geometric pattern. Hindi ko tatanggalin ito, dyan lang yan. Para pag binigay ko yung Jamboard, try nyong hanapin itong mga to gamit ang formula natin for arithmetic sequence. Geometric, kung arithmetic gamma. Okay, for arithmetic sequence. Try to see kung tama ba yung working backwards natin using this formula. Okay, what about this one? Find the 25th term of the arithmetic sequence with the first term 3 and the fourth term negative 3. We can easily find it, but we have to find first the value of ano yung nawawala dito. Okay, very good difference. So let's find the value of the common difference. We have the last term, which is a sub 4. That's 4 is equal to the first term plus n minus 1. Or 4 minus 1 kasi meron ng fourth term. So, 4 minus 1 times the common difference. So, our a sub 4 is negative 3. Our first term is 3 plus 4 minus 1 times d. So, we have negative 3. 3 plus 4 minus 1 is 3, right? So, that's 3d. Or 3 plus 3d minus 3. Now, pag nilipat natin to, magiging negative pa rin. And negative plus negative is equal to negative pa rin. That is negative 6, so that's 3d. So, dividing both sides by by 3, the value of our d now is negative. Okay, very good. Since makakompleto na natin yung ating formula, pwede na natin i-substitute yung mga values na meron tayo. And that is a sub n or a sub 25 kasi yun yung hinahanap natin. The first term plus n minus 1 or 25 minus 1 rather. So that's 25 minus 1 times d. So our a sub 25 is missing. Our first term is 3. Yes. Plus 25 minus 1. The common difference, yung nakita natin kanina or yung value na calculate natin is negative 2. So, I have 3 plus 24. 24 times 2. So, 3 plus 48. It's negative 48. Because positive and negative yung number natin. So, we have negative 45. So, that is our 25th term. Okay? May tanong dito? None. Okay, let's proceed to this one. This is geometric. Okay. Medyo mahaba ta. Wait lang. Okay, this is the solution. Let me just clip it para siya pa yung time natin. Nanak, a sub 25, negative 45. It's 25 minus 1, positive 24. Okay, sige. So, this is the solution for this problem. Let me just discuss paano siya nakuha. Sure, ang bilis naman. Meron agad. Oo. Okay. Ang nawawala dito is yung ating ang nawawala ay first term tsaka common ratio. Correct. So, ang hahanapin muna natin ay common ratio. Assuming na itong a sub 2 is yung first term and yung a sub 4 ang ating last term. So, kasi ang hinahanap mo dito is yung 6th and 11th term. But we cannot find for the 6th and 11th term if we don't have the first term. So, let's try to assume first that the second term is the first term. Since it looks like we have this one. Negative 2 as the second term. We have negative 2. Negative 0.5. And then, meron tayong missing terms bago yung 4. So, para lang tayong kumukuha ng geometric mean in this case. We have negative 2. So, for that, ang hahanapin muna natin is yung common ratio. Now, to find the common ratio, let's assume that this is the first term and this is the last term. So, our last term here is a sub 4. Yun yung ginamit kong last term. Yung first term natin is yung second term. And then, calculate for the exponent over here. So, since that is 4, so ang 4 natin dito. So, ang value ng ating last term is negative 2. Substitute nyo lang. And then, extracting the cube root of these two numbers. Ayan. Extracting the cube root, we're down with 2.52. You have to divide both sides by 0.15 and 0.50. So, since meron na tayong value ng common ratio, pwede nating hanapin yung 6th term and yung 11th term. Ang hinanap ko lang dito is 6th term. I will leave you with the 11th term of this geometric sequence. We can also use the formula by working backwards to get the first term. Next, we have this word problem over here. Ito, nasa exam nyo din ito. Itong word problem na ito. So, let's try to solve this one. But first, let us analyze this. Kung geometric ba siya or arithmetic ba siya o hindi. Okay. Let's listen very carefully. Okay, so the number of people in Barangay Sipnayan in 2012. So, by year 2012, on the year 2012, so this is the A sub 1. Dito value, year to, year 2012. That's your first term, was 673 people. Yan, label natin. It is estimated that the population of this barangay increased by 3%. So, yung 673, nag-i-increase siya ng 3%. Now, if this number is increasing 3%, therefore, we are multiplying 3% of 673. Balik tayo sa business math nyo kung naaalala nyo siya. What is the 3% of 673? Off here is similar to multiplication. Okay. But before doing that, you have to convert this first into decimal number. So, 3% is 0.03. Correct? Kalimutan nyo na yung business math na. Okay. Then, multiply it to 673 to get the 3% of 673. So, the 3% of 673 now is okay. So, So let's have some examples in solving geometric and arithmetic pattern. So for example, you were given this pattern over here. So we have, so for example, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And this pattern extends infinitely. So for example, it extends infinitely, and we would like to find the sum of this of this pattern rather for having 20 terms. Now, first, since hindi pa naman natin alam kung ano yung hinahanap na sum dito, kailangan muna natin i-determine kung yung pattern ba natin is geometric or arithmetic. May alien. Or arithmetic pattern ba siya or geometric pattern. So, paano natin gagawin yun? Hanapin natin yung common difference. Kung mayroong common difference, hanapin natin yung ratio kung common ratio. But first, try natin hanapin yung common difference since yun naman yung first lesson natin, arithmetic sequence. So, let's try to find out if this sequence is an arithmetic sequence. Let's use blue. Okay, so, to find that, we have to subtract the second term to the first term, that is 2. Also have 2. We are constantly... Okay, since meron na tayong common difference, ibig sabihin, yung sequence natin dito ay arithmetic. Therefore, if we want to look for the sum of the arithmetic pattern, if you want to look for the sum of the arithmetic sequence or pattern, we are going to use the formula for the sum of an arithmetic sequence. And we know that the formula in finding the sum of an arithmetic sequence is given by S sub n is equal to n times the first term, quantity the first term plus the last term of the pattern over 2, right? Okay. Since hindi pa given yung ating last term, so kailangan muna natin siyang hanapin. So to find for the last term or a sub n, we need to use this formula. You have a sub 20 since we are looking for the sum of the 20 terms and it makes it finite. So we have a sub 20 is equal to the first term. The first term is 2. So 2 plus 20 minus 1 times the common difference is 2. So 2 plus 19 times 2. We have 2 plus 18 carry 1, 2, 3, 38 plus 2, we have 40. Okay, since meron na tayong last term, pwede natin i-calculate yung ating sum of the arithmetic sequence. So to calculate that, let's have this solution. So I have S sub 20 is equal to 20 times 2, the first term. A sub 20, we have 40, the last term, over 20. So you have now 20 times 42 over 2. So we have here 62 over 2. And we have to divide this one. So the sum of the 20 terms now is 31. Okay, because that's 62 over 2. Again, ang una nyo lang gagawin bago natin hanapin yung sum ng sequence is to identify first if the pattern is geometric or arithmetic. Kasi yun yung magbibigay sa atin ng formula para doon sa ating pattern, para mahanap natin yung sum. So let's have another example. Try to have another example. Let's say, for example, we have this pattern over here. Let's try to solve this. So for example, we have this pattern. So 2, 4, 16, and so on and so forth. And we would like to find the sum of the 5 terms. Now, Since we still have no idea of what kind of pattern is this, we need to find it first. And let us see if this pattern is arithmetic or geometric. Now, if we are going to subtract 4 to 2, that will give us 2. 16 to 4, that will give us not 2. Therefore, it is not geometric in pattern. Okay, so let's try to see if this pattern is geometric or not. So if we have 4 over 1, that's 4. So that's 4 divided 1. We have 4 divided 1, that's 4. And 16 divided 4, that is still 4. Therefore, we have a value for R, the common ratio, because this pattern over here, this pattern is a geometric sequence. Yan. And in getting the sum of a geometric sequence, the sum or S sub n is equal to a sub 1, the first term, times 1 minus r raised to n over 1 minus r. Wherein the common ratio should not be equal to 1. Now let's try to calculate for the sum of these patterns for the fifth term. We don't need to calculate anymore for the fifth term of the geometric pattern since hindi naman siya kailangan dito sa formula natin. Wala naman tayong a sub n dito. So, proceed na tayo agad doon sa ating solution. So, solution. So, we have S sub n and S sub n is equal to S sub 5. We are looking for the fifth term. So, we have S sub 5 is equal to a sub 1 times 1 minus r raised to n over 1 minus r. And we know that the common ratio is 4, right? So let's substitute all the values given in our formula. So the first term is 1. 1 minus r is equal to 4, right? And the value of n is 5 over 1 minus 4. So we have 1 here, and we have 4 raised to 5 is equal to 4 raised to 5 is equal to 1024. So we have 1 minus 1024 over 1 or negative 3. That's 1 minus negative 4, or 1 minus 4, that is 1. That is negative 3. Sorry. So we have now 1 negative 1023 over negative 3. Since that's 1, so retain natin yung number. So we have negative 0, 2, 3 over 3 over negative 3. Let's try to have that equation here. So that's our equation. So we have 1, 0, 2, 3 over negative 3. And that is equal to negative 3. How many? So you have 10 to 3 minus, divided by 3. That is negative 341. We have 341. So that is the sum of the finite geometric sequence.